In one of my recent videos, I talked about bullshit monetization schemes that Konami has implemented into Metal Gear Survive despite the uphill battle that the game is already facing. We had found out prior to the game's release that it demands a constant internet connection to play and that it will feature purchasable premium currency in the form of SV coins. We also eventually learned that with SV coins, you can buy boosters that increase various forms of resource acquisition to decrease the time period required to achieve certain tasks. It didn't seem like the worst thing ever, but at the time we didn't know what the pricing model of SV coins would look like, nor did we know what other things one can purchase with them. That is until the game launched, shortly after which it was discovered that Metal Gear Survive makes you pay for additional character save slots. You start out with one character save slot by default, and there are 3 more that you can unlock, but to do so, you have to spend 1,000 SV coins, which converts to $10. They couldn't even make it cheap like $1 or $2. They had to go the extra mile in their avarice and charge $10 each. We are talking about an additional $30 if you want to unlock all of the game's 4 character slots. If you don't pay up, you'll have no choice but to delete your old save slot and overwrite it if you want to make a new character. I don't think I need to go into an in-depth explanation in regards to why locking a standard game feature behind such an exorbitant fee is so stupid and despicable. You start to get a sense for where Konami's priorities lie when they knowingly implement crap like this, despite the stigma that Metal Gear Survive already carries with it. They don't care about winning back disillusioned fans or doing right by the Metal Gear legacy. All they care about is finding ways to exploit the acclaim that the Metal Gear name carries with it for monetary gain. That's why they shoved the Metal Gear name into pachinkos, that's why they shoved it into some generic zombie shooter game, and that's why they shoved into the game insidious microtransactions like expensively priced save slots. But it doesn't end there. As media outlets have delved into the belly of the beast, they have discovered a few other things that Konami wants you to shell out extra cash for in Metal Gear Survive. On top of having to pay to unlock character slots, you'll also have to pay for additional storage slots for custom weapons, as well as for additional loadout slots for your character in co-op multiplayer. According to Polygon, upgrading your weapon storehouse costs a whopping 500 SV coins, which translates to $5. And according to website US Gamer, who posted this screenshot, by default, players can access 4 slots to store their various loadouts, but to unlock the other 4 slots, players will have to pay 300 SV coins each. That is 1,200 SV coins total, which translates to $11 US. Last but not least, Konami makes you pay for something called crew deployment. Think of crew deployment as Metal Gear Survive's combat deployment, which you may recall allowed you to assign crew members into units that you can then deploy to do behind-the-scenes missions that net you money, resources, so on and so forth. Crew deployment in Metal Gear Survive is a similar concept, allowing you to dispatch teams assigned with different weapons and equipment, known as exploration active units, to seek out materials, recipes, and rare items. Now, by default, the game only allows you to put together and deploy one unit, the Alpha unit. If you want to deploy additional units, guess what? You'll have no choice but to pay up. The pricing is utterly ridiculous too, coming in at 1,000 SV coins per additional units for a grand total of $40 to unlock all of them. This is made all the more insidious by the fact that according to the game, you can obtain rare items you cannot normally get by deploying exploration active units. So players who want to get these crew deployment exclusive rare items more consistently will have no choice but to pay the fee to deploy more than one exploration active unit at a time. Beyond that, we have the boosters that I already mentioned, one of them being the support defender, which makes deployed units less susceptible to damage while improving their results, as well as paywalled cosmetic items like emotes, which, based on this screenshot from website Rock Paper Shotgun, can cost between $1 and $3. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a game that claims to be worth $40, but locks many basic features and conveniences behind exorbitant fees to strong-arm players into paying a heck of a lot more. We are talking about $30 extra to unlock all character slots, $40 extra to unlock all additional crew deployment slots, $11 extra to unlock all loadout slots, and $5 for each additional weapon storage upgrade. All things that should be inherent to this game and readily available to players, and that is excluding the purchasable emotes and boosters, which come in varying prices. But Konami being Konami, they purposely made Metal Gear Survive worse so that people would have to pay to make it better. Now, some of you might argue that things you can purchase with microtransactions aren't absolutely necessary, but so what? We are still talking about deliberate artificial inconveniences and removal of basic game features that you're being forced to pay for. Just for context, Monster Hunter World, which also focuses on online co-op gameplay, offers 3 character slots, all the storage you're ever gonna need for loot, items, and gear, and over 100 loadout slots to save your various builds without charging an extra nickel. This is a game that practically showers you with conveniences for free, which shows clear intent on the developer's part that they don't want to sacrifice game design for the sake of monetization. Metal Gear Survive, on the other hand, is the complete reverse, and it simply has no excuse. The developers have no tangible justification to paywall these kinds of features beyond raking in a few extra dollars on the side. Even the argument that Metal Gear Survive needs to make its money back falls apart when you consider that the game is literally just a mod of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. All Survive literally does is reshuffle some existing assets around, so I can guarantee you that this game didn't cost very much to make. And if Konami is trying to compensate for the likelihood that Metal Gear Survive probably won't sell many copies, then what a shitty thing it is for them to make people who do buy the game pay for it. I've said this before and I'll say it again, Metal Gear Survive foreshadows a dark future ahead for the beloved franchise. Metal Gear worked because of Kojima's creativity, attention to detail, and integrity as a game designer. But at the hands of Konami, one of the sleaziest, most uninspired, and most incompetent game publishers in the industry, the franchise is destined to die an unceremonious death. It pains me to say that, but for those still clinging on to hope, just take a gander at franchises like Castlevania and Silent Hill. Since the departure of their original creators, Konami has done nothing but drag these beloved game series through the mud for their pachinkos and other shady ventures. So to think that things will be any different for Metal Gear is, in my opinion, a fool's errand. And there is no better indication of this than the fact that Konami's first 2 ventures with Metal Gear after Kojima's departure was the Snake Eater Pachinko and Metal Gear Survive. These are just one man's thoughts and opinions anyway. I'd love to hear what your take is on all of this in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon. It is completely optional, but donating even as little as $1 a month will go a long way in helping this channel grow. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.